Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's bird video. We're having a look at the ECM extended model for today's bird video. So this is like the 30-day forecast for the UK and the rest of Europe traditionally, but we can also look at weeks 5 and 6 data as well. So it's like 6 weeks look ahead, really, but the throwback to days gone by is like of a 30-day forecast. So I shall get on that for you in a second anyway. Just say about the first video release today was our 7 AM broadcast. We're releasing GavsWeatherVids October forecast as well. And we've got a 10 to 14 day coming up for you later on. So a busy day at GavsWeatherVids today. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. Right, okay, let's start off then with the week 1 mean sea level pressure anomaly for the UK and for Europe as well. So this is taking us from the 4th through to the 11th of October. And looks pretty anticyclonic actually in the weekend across most parts of Europe. We've got an area of high pressure ridging in to western and northern parts of Europe, and a large area of high pressure over western parts of Russia as well. So northern Europe are dominated by high pressure. Some weaker pressure coming through here that might bring some rather more unsettled weather through there. And then there's some lower pressure through the central part of the Mediterranean, particularly around southern parts of Italy, and extending in towards the southeastern corner of the Med. Higher pressure out to the western part of the Mediterranean. 500 millibar height anomaly from the North Pole and Arctic view down looks like that. So you see a big ridge from the Azores going all the way into western and also northern Europe. Below average heights, low pressure across southern and also to some degree southeastern parts of Europe as well. So most of Europe though is dominated by high pressure in the week ahead, with that big area of above average heights. Temperature anomalies look like that for week 1. Current week. So warmer average in the far north and northwest of Europe. So Ireland, UK, many parts of Scandinavia, into northern Germany, Poland, and into the extreme northeast of Europe as well, around the Baltic Sea. Warmer than average through there. The core of the warmth is around Scandinavia actually, where we're between 3 and 6 degrees above average. Cooler further southwards, across France, down into Spain, looking quite cool through there, southern Germany, and particularly so on this eastern side of Europe, actually, from, let's say, the far east of Poland, right way through to the Black Sea, and the west of Russia becoming cooler and average through there. And down into the Mediterranean, we can see that central and western parts of the Med look quite cool, as does the southeastern corner of the Med as well. So it is a relatively cool scene, actually, through the Mediterranean this week. Precipitation-wise, we look like that. So quite a lot of dry weather across northeastern Europe through here. Yes, there's plenty of dry weather through there. And also in the west and southwest of Europe, so France, Spain and Portugal coming out dry now. So you have 2 distinct wet and average areas. Scandinavia and going down into the UK and Ireland, looks wetter than average through there. I think most of that is down to like right now, because high pressure will take over later on this week, particularly for Ireland. For the UK too. And then in the eastern part of the Med, from like Italy down into the southeast corner of the Med around Greece, wetter than average there, and across the Adriatic into Balkans, looking wetter than average through there as well. So varying from area to area, and perhaps a little bit more unsettled than you might expect, given that mean sea level pressure anomaly does look pretty anticyclonic. Right, let's have a look at week 2 then. So this will be the 11th through to the 18th of October. We look like that. High pressure centres right over top of the UK and Ireland, and also down in towards France, the Low Countries and Germany. So West Europe is generally dominated by high pressure through this middle part of October. Lower pressure is to the far northeast of Europe, and through here, I think the ridge is sort of extending through, to be honest. The 500 millibar height anomaly looks like that. So this suggests that it might turn colder in the east of Europe, actually. So you've got this area of above average heights, again, set over the western part of Europe. But this trough of low pressure here in the far north, northeast and east of Europe, that could dig down some quite cold air from the north, I think. So that could bring the jet stream southwards, and we could see some quite cold air digging in across the eastern part of Europe with that. So much more unsettled and potentially a bit colder in the east, drier and milder out in the west, perhaps. The temperature anomaly looks like that, suggesting a real east-west split or northwest-southeast split. So we see that, again, much of Scandinavia, especially southern parts of Sweden, Norway, Denmark, coming out with above average temperature anomalies. The UK, above average temperature anomalies there. Many parts of Spain and Portugal looking milder than average. From the east of France eastwards, though, it does start to get cooler, and particularly so in this eastern and southeastern corner. So again, like from Ukraine and the Black Sea down towards Italy, Greece, and many parts of Turkey, we're looking colder than average through this week. So definitely the idea is there that the jet stream, with that trough of low pressure, is digging through the eastern part of Europe, bringing cooler temperatures, and out to the west under the bridge of high pressure, it is warmer. You expect this to be reflected in the precipitation anomaly as well. Looks like that. So once more, we see that much of Western Europe is drier than average, from like southern Scandinavia, so southern parts of Sweden and Norway, and also Denmark. South and southwestwards is drier than average, particularly so around the UK, Ireland, France, significantly drier than normal through there. Conversely, it's not particularly wet in the east, but it's definitely wetter in this eastern part of Europe, and particularly so in this sort of southern, southeastern part of America, where no doubt we're generating big thunderstorms and whatnot through like southern Italy and into parts of Greece as well. The Balkans looking a little bit drier in that week 2 period. Week 3 will take us from the 18th to 25th of October. Never changed, quite significantly so. The high pressure looks like it's sort of collapsing and slipping southwards into southern Europe as lower pressure begins to come back into the north and west. So clearly this will turn things more unsettled across northern and western parts of Europe. At the same time, the high pressure moving southwards would turn much of southern Europe largely drier. And under that area of high pressure, I expect southern Europe to be getting warmer as well, potentially. 500 millibar height anomaly for week 3 looks like that. So low pressure in the Atlantic and across northern, northeastern parts of Europe. This is the trough that's left over from week 2, I suppose, with all of those cool or even quite cold temperatures. Above average height sort of to the south, southwest, gradually, I think, being eroded and slipping southwards as the Atlantic starts to step up a couple of gears, perhaps. Temperature anomalies are still showing a west-east split or northwest-southeast split, so above average temperature anomalies in the west of Europe again, particularly around France and also into Spain and Portugal, northwards to Ireland, into the UK, low countries, Belgium, Holland, Netherlands, many parts of Germany, Denmark, into some parts of Sweden and Norway, above average temperatures through there. May have a swathe of nearer normal temperatures across northern, far northern and sort of eastern, northeastern parts of Europe, and then the southeastern corner again continues to look colder than average, especially so again like Romania and Greece and also Turkey, those areas in the southeastern corner looking rather colder than average. Precipitation-wise for week 3, we look like that. So it is turning more unsettled in the northwest. Rainfall gradually increasing across Scandinavia, UK and Ireland in particular as the low pressure in the Atlantic and the jet stream begins to ramp up. Southern and southeastern parts of Europe are drier than average, especially from the central bowl of Med over towards Greece and Turkey, and then northwards to the Black Sea and back to the Balkans and around the Adriatic. Significantly drier than average there. So you see that the high pressure is going to be around this part of Europe, and the low pressure and the jet stream will be up there. Right, so go through to week 4, which will be the 25th of October to the 1st of November. The north-south split looks like it continues. So again, high pressure across these southern parts of Europe, extending northwards up towards France and southern parts of Germany. At the same time, lots of low pressure to the north, with the jet stream probably coming through somewhere like there. The 500 millibar height anomaly looking like that. So again, low pressure is around Iceland and in the Norwegian Sea, heading towards Scandinavia along the jet stream as well. Probably higher pressure in the far south and southwest Europe. Maybe starting to pull out into the Atlantic a little bit there as we come towards the end of October. Temperature anomalies week 4 continue to be very much above average across the northern west part of Europe. There's definitely been like a shift in the ECM with this update to turn much of Western, Northern and Northwestern Europe and also Southwestern Europe very significantly warmer than average through October, so it will be a warmer than average month coming up, if this is right. Colder than average again in this southeastern corner of Europe, and then a swathe of near normal temperatures from northern Scandinavia and then down through these eastern parts of Europe. The week for precipitation anomaly still showing that north-south split, so wetter than average across northern Europe. So again, that's particularly so for Ireland, for the UK, into Scandinavia, especially Norway, and down into Denmark, and then northern parts of Germany, and possibly some parts of the Low Countries as well, looking wetter than average, with the jet stream, of course, pushing through like that. Conversely, much of southern Europe, most of the Med, looks dry than average with that area of high pressure. So the second half of October reverting to a very classic and typical sort of zonal type setup. Right, so that's the 4-week, 30-day look ahead done. Let's just have a look at weeks 5 and 6 data before we go, because why not? So this is week 5, mean sea level pressure anomaly. Below pressure begins to come southwards a little bit in this week, so higher pressure starts to shift over towards the east side of Med, lower pressure pushing southwards. That's probably bringing, well, it keeps it unsettled in the northwest Europe, but perhaps turns it a little bit cooler or colder in this northwestern part of Europe. Let's have a look at 500 millibar height anomaly. So, yes, we see that we've got this low pressure in across Scandinavia, northwestern Europe. We need to push that trough a little bit further eastwards to open the door to northerly winds, but probably it's turning a bit cooler across the northwest of Europe. At the same time, we still have this leftover sort of higher pressure down here into the Mediterranean. The temperature anomaly is still above average through most northern and western parts of Europe, but that's a little bit less so in that first week of November. The southeastern part of Europe looking a little bit on the colder side. Once again, precipitation-wise, again, it was really wet across northern and western parts of Europe, so very unsettled into October, beginning of November for Scandinavia, for Ireland, for the UK, for much of northern and western Germany. Denmark will be included in that as well, much of Low Countries, probably northern France too. Wet and average through there. Southern, southeast parts of Europe looking drier than normal in week 5. Then finally, week 6 will be the 8th through to 15th of November. That's how it looks. Yes, we've got like an area of high pressure still there across the southern and eastern, southeastern parts of Europe. Low pressure is sort of to the west and southwest of the UK, which probably brings up like a warm southerly wind, west side of Europe, actually. Let's see if we can see more of 500 millibar height anomaly. So, yeah, we've got this trough of below average heights to west of Ireland, the UK, above average heights over here. So this area above average heights will be bringing up like a southerly, or try to bring up southerly wind to eastern parts of Europe. You would think that this would get like a northerly across the western part of Europe, but the position of the trough actually means that it's probably quite mild up the western side of Europe as well. However, just a little bit of a change to move back to trough low pressure south and eastwards would probably bring colder air into North Europe. Notice there is a bit of an Atlantic ridge type signal, and there's a little bit of Arctic blocking getting going as well, right over the top of the North Pole. That's right over the very top of the North Pole. Little area of blocking getting going there. It'll be interesting to see in further updates whether the ECM, builds that further as we go further on into November. Temperature anomalies look pretty warm across most parts of Europe. You notice those above average temperatures gradually pushing eastwards. That's as that ridge builds in the southeast of Europe. That will bring up a warm southerly flow, or a mild southerly flow to the eastern part of Europe. It might be cooling down a little bit in the extreme north and northwest of Europe. Here we're reverting back to the white colours. And the precipitation anomaly looking like that. So weakening signals now. Much of southern, southeast of Europe still dry than average. Hints of being rather wet, perhaps still on the western side of Europe, so it could be quite a wet first half to November if this is right in the north and the west of Europe. Of course, at 6 weeks out, that is so far away, but it's not really worth worrying about. Right, so that's your 30-day / 6 weeks look ahead for Europe for this week. We'll do it all over again next Tuesday. Remember, it's just a snapshot of what the model is showing. Any forecast beyond 5-7 days is fraught with danger and comes with big health warnings. So it could look very different when we look at these charts again next week. That's how it looks today. We'll have a look again on Friday. That'll be focusing on the UK and Ireland, of course. That'll be Friday or Saturday, not sure, but it's always at the end of the week. So have another look again at the end of the week. Just say that coming up later on, we've got your 10 to 14 there. It's going to include all of regular features. So check that one out this afternoon. It's a busy day at GavsWeatherVids today. But for this EC 30 day look ahead, that's all for now. And thanks for watching.